All right. So what we're doing here is I'm going to test out Zoom to make this recording and see how this works out here. But what we're doing is I am preparing to do a 10-minute talk for Joe Polish's Genius Network Mastermind Group in just a couple of weeks here. And I'm doing a quick run through on this because what I'm thinking is that this presentation that I am getting ready to do, I am like so jazzed about this because the kind of premise of these 10-minute talks, for those of you who don't know who Joe Polish and Genius Network and all that, I've been in this mastermind group for 9 years now, and this will be my 4th 10-minute talk that I've done for this group. And the whole premise of these 10-minute talks, there's about 300 members in this mastermind group, and all of them are seasoned, well-accomplished entrepreneurs, business owners, professionals, and all of that. And the purpose of these 10-minute talks is to share a concept or a premise or something you use in your business or in your life that if the other members decide to implement it for themselves, that it would be worth a minimum of $250,000 to them over the next year. And so that is the premise of these 10-minute talks. So needless to say, when you do this, you put a little bit of effort into this. You know, because you are sharing with the best of the best, with the cream of the crop, with entrepreneurs who are doing amazing things. And so there you go. There's the setting for this, the kind of the context, if you will. And I am really excited to share this presentation with you and just kind of share this 10-minute talk. And so we're just going to get right into it here. And this 10-minute talk, the topic of this is why it is not better to give than it is to receive. And I know that's a little bit controversial. That's kind of going against the grain of a long-held belief by a whole lot of people that comes from a pretty credible source too. And so what I want to see is, just kind of ask you 2 questions to start with. First question, do you believe that you, as at the core of who you are as a person, is a giving and generous person? Okay, and if you were here in front of me, I would, and doing a presentation, if I was at a group, I would ask you, I want to see by a raised hands, because I know what's going to happen here is pretty much everybody's going to raise their hands, because that's who, these kind of entrepreneurs, that's who we are. Now, the second question is this: do you also agree that you are just as good at receiving from others? And in fact, you are so good at this that you are even let everybody else know how they can help you and how they can best serve you as well. And when I ask that question, a small percentage of the people agree with that. Because here's the thing, I used to be just as guilty of this. I have, for most of my life, I have been I'm just this giving and generous person. I love being that way. But on the receiving side, for so much of my life, I totally sucked. That's a technical term, by the way. I totally sucked on the receiving side. And the challenge with this is that when we are this way, when we're giving and generous, but not so good on the receiving side, and not so good at accepting from other people, we shut down this natural flow of all these incredible things that could be going on in our life and in our business. And, that we could be getting our message out there in a much bigger way. We can impact a whole lot more lives. We could make a lot more revenue, not just for us, but for people around us. And we could do so much and so more. We can collaborate in such a bigger way, all these great things. But because we are not good at receiving, because we might kind of suck at receiving, we don't have that all available to us. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share 3 specific experiences that happened with me over about a 3.5-year period, and how I finally got the heck out of my own way after that long period of time. And I'm going to condense that for you into about 10 minutes. And my goal is that by sharing these experiences, then giving you kind of a little bit of a challenge at the end, that we condense this for you, and you get to start benefiting from this, and you get to just open up this flow in your life like now. Okay, so first experience comes from with Joe Polish, which is kind of fitting since he is the guy that runs this mastermind group I'm getting ready to share this presentation with. But Joe, back in 2009, I was in the mastermind group in the Genius Network at that time, and it was a couple of days before one of the meetings, and I had called him on his cell phone, and I got his voicemail, and I didn't leave him a message. I was like, whatever, I'll just call him later. And he called me back about 5 minutes later. He's like, Kev, what you want? And I'm like, he's like, you didn't leave me a voicemail. I'm like, no, it's okay, Joe. He's like, I'm coming down there to the 25K, the Genius Network meeting in a couple of days. We can just talk then. And he's like, no. He's like, it must have been important enough for you to call. Let's talk now. And I don't remember what the heck it was that we were talking about at this point. It doesn't even matter. But what I do remember is a couple of days later at the Genius Network meeting, he kind of lays into me. He starts telling everybody in the group about this experience, about me calling him and not leaving him a message because I didn't want to bother him, didn't want to be inconvenienced, didn't want to put him out. And he's like, Kevin, he's like, you know what? He's like, for as long as I've known you since 1997, and you are just one of these most giving and generous guys I have ever met in my life, but yet you kind of suck at receiving. And I'm going to see if I can help you with this. And I want to see, by a show of hands, how many of you in this group, if Kevin were to pick up the phone or call you or get a hold of you or what have you, and assuming it was reasonable, if he were to ask you for a favor, how many of you would turn him down? And everybody in the group was like, oh my gosh, Kev, no, I mean, absolutely, man, you can call us whenever you want. You can reach out whenever you want. Man, we're here to help you. Yeah, we would love to help you. Whatever we can do to help you, Kev, we're all in. And that was an epiphany for me. Because I'll tell you what, prior to that, I would go to this group and I would hear all this amazing stuff that these entrepreneurs and business owners and professionals were doing, and I ended up, because I had them on this pedestal, like, man, here's all them, they're up here, but me, I'm like right here, and that's how I kind of viewed myself. But once I had that experience, I didn't view myself that way anymore. I was like, wow, I really do have value to offer this group. They really do like me. They really do appreciate me. Still didn't completely get the heck out of my own way, but we were making improvements. Now, the next experience, it happened in 2010, a little over a year later, and I had done this 2-day training here at my home, right here at my home in Arlington, Washington here, and we had about 16 entrepreneurs who each invested $5,000 to come to this thing for 2 days, and one of those people was Sean Stevenson and his dad, and at the end of this 2-day event, a few of us had gone out to dinner that night, and Sean was sitting across the table from me, and he was talking with me. He's like, Kevin, I got to tell you, when we came up here, when me and my dad came up here for this event, you told us you lived about an hour from the airport, and when we landed in Seattle, it was a pouring down rainy day that day, and the traffic was horrendous, and it took us over 3 hours to get from the airport up here to by your place and stuff. And on the way up, I'm asking my dad, I was like, okay, Dad, who the heck is this Kevin Thompson guy, and why are we going to his house? But now, after spending the last 2 days with you, Kevin, having you share from your heart all the stuff that you did, and it is going to be such a benefit to me and to my business, and I am just like so thankful that I was here and that you shared what you did, and now I just want to know, what can I do for you? And I was like, you know what, Sean? I was like, it was my pleasure, and I'm so glad you got so much about it, but I'm good. You don't need to do anything for me. Here I am, shutting him down. He's like, Chet, it was my pleasure, Sean. And he's like, Kevin, that is the wrong damn answer. If you don't got an answer for me, that's totally cool, but just let me know that. Let me know, hey, Sean, I don't have a good answer for you right now, but when I do, can I get back with you? But you know what? Don't shut me down, because I just want to help you. I just feel compelled to do that. I want to do that. And so, if you can't do it now, then let's have this conversation later, but don't shut me down on this. And I was just like, wow. And so that was another experience that happened, piecing this stuff together, still, making progress. But the big breakthrough didn't come until 2012, when I was down in Texas meeting with my good friend and one of my mentors, Jesse Elder. And he knew I'd been, we'd already been talking a lot about this, and he knew that this was something that, if it was kind of weighing on me. It wasn't like life was bad, but he's like, I knew life could be a lot better, and so did he. And so we really started digging into this. And so he starts asking me, he's like, Kevin, he's like, you know what? When you give to somebody, or you do something for somebody who's like totally appreciative of that, how does that make you feel? And I'm like, oh man, I was like, Jesse, that is the most incredible feeling in the world. I don't know anything better than that. I love giving and helping people, and especially when they're so appreciative of it, man, that's incredible. He's like, yeah, I know, it's right. It really is incredible, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, Kevin, do you realize that by being the way you are, and you are this giving and generous person, but you know what? You're not so good on the receiving side because, you don't want to bother people. You don't want to put them out. You don't want to be perceived as a taker because, you're not. You're just a giver through and through. But by not openly receiving from others, you are actually taking from them. And I'm like, what? I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, listen, he's like, you are depriving others from having that same feeling that you just told me was the best feeling in the world. And I'm just like, wow. I was like, I never even thought of that before. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, and Kev, who are you to do that to people? Who are you to deprive them of that feeling when you know how incredible it is? And he's like, Kevin, he's like, giving and receiving, they're just different sides of the same coin. And you got to get good at doing both of them. He's like, it's kind of like breathing. He's like, if I were to ask you, what do you prefer better, breathing in or breathing out? I tell you, great, try doing only that for a while and see how far it gets you. You got to do both. And you know what? That's when it clicked. And I hope that it's clicked for you here as well. I hope this has clicked for you now. Because when you open yourself up and just begin graciously receiving from others, it opens up this natural flow of incredible things to be happening in your life and in your business and in all aspects of your life. That you get so much cooperation and collaboration from others. That you get to make a bigger impact, that you get to get your message out there in a way bigger way, that you get to impact far more people's lives, that you get to increase your revenue, and not just your revenue, but revenue of like so many other people. And the ripple effect of what you do, you will never truly know. But I'll tell you what, sure is awesome thinking about it. And the thing is, because you are already this generous and giving person, you know what? You already have so much relationship capital built up that you just haven't been taking advantage of, that you just haven't been capitalizing on, that you just haven't been, because I was the same way. I was the same way. It's already there. And you're also already surrounded by an abundance of people who would gladly help you if they just knew how, if you would just let them know. And if you would like some help with this, I would absolutely love to help you. And the first step is getting access to, I've got a thing called the Relationship Capital Scorecard. And I don't know if I'm going to have a link here or not for it. Hopefully I probably will, up above, below, beside, whatever, somewhere around this video here. And so that you can find out where you stand. This is just a self-assessment tool just to kind of give you a benchmark and let you know where you are. And the thing is if you're not where you want to be, if your relationships aren't where you want them to be in a way that makes you feel good about that, you know what? Let's get to work fixing that. We can fix that. We can have a whole lot of fun doing this. And with that, hope you got a ton of value from this, and look forward to getting to know you. Bye for now.